Don't give up, 'cause I believe there's a place where we belong.
Unbelievable. 500 submissions. 500 horrible, boring, atrocious plays from the same dull, boring, unimaginative mind of Nigel bloody Davenport. Good God. What sort of creature is he? What sort of mind comes up with this drudge?
Excuse me, sir? Excuse me, sir?
Yes?
Nigel Davenport, playwright. Pleased to meet you.
Ah, Mr. Davenport. Yes, I've just been going through your submissions for this year's festival.
Please, don't call me Mr. Davenport. You must call me Nigel.
Todd Sparks.
I have to say, I was absolutely overjoyed when I got your phone call this morning. I said to myself, Nigel, finally, all your hard work has paid off. You've finally won the Shortcuts Festival of New Plays.
Nigel, before you get too excited, I'm afraid I have some bad news.
Oh dear. Bad news. Has somebody died?
Why would you think someone died?
Well, you just said that you had bad news, and I thought maybe somebody you knew died. That would be bad news, wouldn't it?
Well, yes, it would.
And I can sympathise. I just lost my mum.
Oh, I am sorry. When was this?
Oh, about 20 minutes ago. Yeah, you see, I shouldn't trouble you with my personal worries, but, well, anyway, I was on the bus coming to see you, well, my mum died.
You could have postponed the meeting.
Oh, she wouldn't hear of it. No, I was at the hospital early. You see, my mum, she likes a nice cup of tea in the morning, so I went to the hospital and I made her a nice cup of tea, and we were having the tea, and I told her all about you phoning and asking me to come and see you later today.
Well, I didn't know she was dying. You should have stayed.
Well, yes, I said so too. I said it was more important to spend time with her, with it being so near the end and all, but oh no, son, she said. Oh no, you go see this nice Mr. Todd Sparks. He wouldn't have phoned you if there wasn't good news. I believe in you, son. I believe in your dream. You've got talent. You can make something of yourself. My mum believed in me. Nobody else ever did. She did. And I said to her, look, whichever play he's chosen to produce, I'll dedicate it to your memory. She died
I'm sorry, my sympathies.
Oh, thanks. So which one did you like?
Well, you submitted so many.
506. I would have submitted more, but, you know, my mum was ill. Anyway, which one have you chosen? Was it Norman makes his mum a cup of tea?
No.
Oh. Norman goes to the movies?
No.
Oh. Oh, I know. Norman does his ironing.
Nigel, don't you think your plays are a little too,
Short? This is the Short Plays Festival, isn't
No,
it?
a little too real. I mean, take this one for example. Norman makes his mum a cup of tea.
Oh, I love that play.
Do you?
Yeah, my mum loved it too.
Did she?
Yeah. The idea came to me while I was making my mum a cup of tea.
Did it?
All my plays are based on my life. I don't use my real name, of course, that would be silly. But everything I write is based on a true story.
Nigel, just because it's true doesn't make it dramatic. I mean, to be dramatic, you must have aims, goals, themes, conflicts. Your plays don't have any conflict.
Oh, but there's a lot of subtext in what I write.
I see.
I mean, take this one for example. Norman waits for a bus. Do you know what it's about?
Norman waiting for a bus?
Oh, on the surface, yeah.
Under the surface?
Oh, well, it's about Norman, and he's standing there at the bus stop, waiting, and he's thinking how empty his life is, and how he's never been able to meet a woman. At the age of 37, he's still a virgin, and there he stands alone in the whole world with no one to love him except his mum. And what's he going to do? Get a job? Go for his dream? Talk to the red-haired girl who lives across the street with tiny tits? Oh, if only he could! If only he could talk to that freckle-faced beauty. But he can't, because he's too afraid. He's afraid that she might reject him, and the pain of that rejection, that would be too much. It would shatter him and drive him to do something awful, like douse himself in gasoline and set himself afire, allowing the torment of the flames to extinguish the pain in his heart.
I see. Yes. All you've written on the page is, Norman waits for a bus. He looks at the sky. He checks his watch. He sighs, he laughs, he chuckles, he sighs, he cries, he sits. He waits for a bus.
And your point?
Well, don't you think your subtext might be a little too subtle? There's no way any reader or audience could get the story that you just told me from what you've written.
Didn't you like any of my plays?
Well, none that I read.
Oh, well, why did you ask me to come in to see you then?
Because the reading committee have asked me to ask you, how can I put this, to stop submitting to the festival.
Stop submitting?
Yes.
But what? I pay all my entry fees?
Yes, and we're very grateful for the money. But you're, how can I put this? You're a terrible playwright, just awful.
Oh, I don't think I'm as bad as all that, am I?
3 members of the reading committee resigned this year. 2 are in treatment for depression, and 1 committed suicide.
Because of my play?
There was a note.
Oh, I don't believe that.
Nigel, I'm sorry if the truth hurts, but if you're going to be a writer, you're going to have to grow a thick skin and accept criticism, because, to be blunt, your plays are awful.
You didn't like Norman takes a bath?
He takes a bath!
In the nude. Full frontal male nudity. Isn't that exciting?
It's been done. And besides, we're a dinner theatre, and having someone's private parts dangling is a bit unappetising.
That was too exciting.
It was a man taking a bath.
What about the subtext?
Did it involve a freckle-faced girl with small tits?
No! It involved the plump blonde with a huge rat.
Nigel! Don't you think your attitude towards women is a bit sexist?
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be. I'm just a breast man.
Do we understand each other?
Oh, well, look. How about if I submitted fewer plays? Say 200 or 300.
Oh, you're wasting your time. Maybe your talents lie elsewhere.
But it was my mother's dying wish that I should win the Shortcuts Playwriting Festival, so I'd be one step closer to my dream of an opening night on Broadway. I can't give up. I've got to prove to her and to the world that her son isn't a loser. And so no matter what anybody or any committee says, I'm never going to give up. No, never. And if anything, I'm just going to try harder.
Harder?
Yes, even harder.
That's the spirit. That proves my point. I had to be sure that we had the right man for our most prestigious award.
What award?
Well, as director of the festival, I'm pleased to award you a special juried prize, new this year. Yes. You would be the first recipient of the Noel Coward Shortcuts Playwriting Festival's Most Promising Playwright Award.
The Noel Coward Award.
Yes.
So I am a winner. The Noel Coward Shortcut Playwriting Festival's Most Promising Playwright Award. Do I get a plaque?
Yes, of course. And here's a £100 prize.
Oh, well, could life get any better? I can use that money to enter again next year.
No. There is one condition. You see, you can only win it once. and then you must never enter again.
Oh, what sort of stupid rule is that?
Well, we have to make room for other plays, other playwrights, others whose mothers believe in them. We have to give them a chance.
Oh, well, how disappointing.
Oh, don't be disappointed. You can always invite the freckle-faced girl from next door to the opening night of Norman Makes His Mum a Cup of Tea.
Ah, well, that's a thought.
Isn't it?
Yes? Yeah, well, thank you, Todd. Thank you. This is wonderful. Thank you. In fact, I'd like to invite you to my mother's funeral.
Oh, you don't have to.
Oh no, but I want to. I want you to meet her. In fact, I think I might write a play about it.
A play about your mother's funeral?
Yes.
Are you going to call it Norman Goes to a Funeral?
Do you know, I think I might. Oh, and you know what? I think maybe it's time I wrote a full-length play.
A full-length play?
Yes, and you can read it for me when it's done.
I can't wait.